Hello everyone, welcome to my new podcast. This is winter time and India's northeast is now ready for tourism. In this episode, we shall talk about the northeast India as tourism destination. We'll talk about high-end destination. We'll talk about Hornbill and other festivals. And we'll talk about the new focus on mindful tourism, a new tourism narrative for the entire northeast. Do we need to make some changes? And what we need to do? And most importantly, why Northeast is so attractive destination for tourism. Now we all know India's Northeast is one of the best destinations in the country. God has given it all. Northeast has breathtaking locations, greenery, snow-clad mountains, most attractive wildlife. It's the most attractive wildlife destination of India. There is no doubt about it. One of the biggest river in the world, Brahmaputra, and many tributaries. Very colorful culture and a lifestyle which is very unique in the country. The spectacular diversity of tribes, many languages, many dialects makes it most interesting for its people. It has got some beautiful festivals, as we all know. We'll talk about Hornbill, we'll talk about Sangai, and we'll talk about many other festivals that's happening in Northeast right now. So diversity is specific to communities. Every community has a separate way of life, language, food habits, and so many differences in terms of their presentation. Cuisines, Northeastern cuisines is getting very popular across the country for its healthy food. Northeastern cuisines are one of the most favorite food joints in different parts of the country. And of course, the beautiful people of Northeast. And more beautiful, their hospitable nature. As a whole, perhaps no other region in the country offers this diversity and the most attractive destination in the entire country. Northeast is now ready for tourism in a big way. Historically, Northeast India has suffered due to perception issue. Region was mostly known for its negative perception. Northeast में insurgency है. There are problems of insurgency, law and order problems, floods, ethnic conflicts, and many more. These are the dominant headlines in national media for many years. Many in Delhi and other metros have very little idea about Northeast India. However, the things have changed in the last few years. Government of India's consistent focus on Northeast India have brought very strong media interest in the region. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been one of the main ambassadors of Northeast. He wears a Homia Gamosa regularly in his various appearances and made these stores of Northeast very popular now. Naga stores, Manipuri stores, different tribes of Assam, Meghalaya. Stores are becoming very popular and the textile industry is getting a big support. In fact, Prime Minister in his Mann Ki Baat talks about Northeast India regularly. It has given a lot of exposure to the Northeast and people have started taking the region seriously. So I once again want to thank our Prime Minister for being a real ambassador for the entire Northeast India. It has actually helped in changing the narratives. We have some of the most dynamic chief ministers in the entire Northeast and some of the leaders in Delhi from the Northeast are doing extremely well. And the state governments also started promoting its festivals extensively. Hornbill Festival is now known all over the world. The festival, Hornbill, is starting from 1st of December in Kisama village in various parts of Nagaland. And before Hornbill, there are many festivals leading to Hornbill in Nagaland. Throughout the year, it's the festival of festivals. And festivals attract so many tourists all over the world. And Hornbill Festival has become an unique festival, which has changed the entire narrative of Nagaland. And it's of community, it's of people, it's about nature, and it's brilliantly presented. Hornbill Festival shows the way about the festival culture in Northeast India. Manipur has Sangai Festival. It is starting from, I think, 21st of November. It's a very popular festival. It's extensive. It has got so many varieties of performances. And it showcases the brilliant Manipur in terms of destination. And is becoming very popular. Government of Meghalaya, with a very dynamic Chief Minister, Conrad Sangma, have been organizing series of festivals in Meghalaya. And is getting a lot of attention across the country. And Meghalaya has tremendous tourism focus and its presentation on tourism is extremely interesting. I have seen this presentation in Northeast Festival in Bangkok, in Delhi, and many tour operators say that this is one of the top presentation in the entire country. And Meghalaya is actually focusing tourism in a big way and is getting a lot of tourists. And the festivals also bringing a lot of attention about Meghalaya. In fact, weekend I got a lot of attention. NH Weekend in Shillong has been a major attraction. Arunachal is also organizing many festivals. Recently, Town Festival was supposed to be organized. It was cancelled last minute. It is a brilliant festival, Tawanga Festival, organized in October end. Orange Festival is coming up in Dambuk, a very colorful riverline festival. And yes, a very tourism-friendly chief minister, Pema Khandu, who keeps on going and bring different destinations of Arunachal and keeps promoting it extensively. And he's been able to bring some of the most famous Bollywood stars like Salman Khan, Sanjay Dutt, and many others. And they promote Arunachal extensively. And they have started getting a lot of interest in terms of movie makers. And a lot of movies are being presently shot in Arunachal. It started in Tawang with Koila way back when people started seeing Tawang. And after that, many movies are being shot in Arunachal, and they are giving some interesting incentives to make movies in Arunachal, and it's getting a lot of attention. Mizoram of late has been taking a lot of focus on tourism. This Christmas celebration is a major attraction, and many other festivals they are organizing. And I'm not talking about Sikkim because Sikkim is already a pioneering state in the country. Sikkim's tourism potentials are enormous, and they're doing extremely good in promoting the state as an organic state, a tourism-friendly state, and it is contributing significantly towards the revenue of Sikkim state. Tripura is also trying to promote tourism. The tea gardens, Neer Mahal, and many others. Tourist attractions are getting noticed right now, but I feel Tripura needs much more marketing. And marketing is one aspect Tripura is lagging behind the rest of the Northeast Indian states. The Tripura has to do much more, but it has got a lot of potential. Assam. It started this campaign with Priyanka Chopra. It became quite popular, Awesome Assam campaign, and Priyanka Chopra being a national figure got a lot of attention about Assam. And with a lot of things to offer, river tourism, wildlife tourism, and culture tourism, Assam is attracting a lot of tourists of late. Mr. Kiran Rijiju, Honorable Minister for Law and Justice, has been very active in social media, promoting Northeast as a destination. Mr. Sarvanda Sonowal has been highlighting Northeast in various platforms. So Delhi's, that focus that our leaders are getting in Delhi is also helping Northeast in terms of creating a positive perception. And I'm talking about the chief ministers of Northeast, a very dynamic group of chief ministers, and they're very active in social media, and they have been doing extremely good work, from Biren Singh to Nefu Rio to all these chief ministers. I talk about Pema Khandu, Conrad Sharma, and they have been real in the forefront of promoting the state as a destination. And of course about Himanta Biswa Sarma, one of the most talked about politicians in the entire country right now, a prominent face in media. And his emergence as a national figure has helped the Northeast. People started talking about him. If you go to Bangalore and other places, he's been discussed. And with him, Assam and Northeast is also getting prominence. It's a positive vibes. Positive vibes are being mainly because of social media, which is now a dominant media platform in the country right now. And Northeast is really getting a lot of attention because of social media positive publicity about the region. From our side, we also started, when I left a job and I was in Delhi at the time, 2013-14, there were a lot of racial attack. A boy called Nidu Tenia from Arunachal was killed, and because of his hairstyle, and he was killed, and that has really raised the collective conscience of people. The issue has gone to Parliament also. And during that moment of time, just prior to the incident also, many people advised us that we must do something to make people know about Northeast. So I was leaving the job and I was asked to lead this initiative. And what we do, we formed a trust called Trend MMS, a not-for-profit trust. And we started doing Northeast Festival. We never thought that it will become so big. So Northeast Festival in 2013 onwards, we did it Indira Gandhi Center for Arts. Initially, we thought of showcasing some music and some food and some fashion. So Northeast Festival, we started small. Slowly it gained momentum, and it became very popular in national media. In fact, media made Northeast Festival very popular. And most of the media in Delhi has highlighted it extensively. And instead of Alpha and SCN, our cuisines got a lot of focus. Many entrepreneurs has emerged from Northeast Festival. Many food chains has emerged. So we started focusing on handloom and handicraft, agri-product, food processing products. Many entrepreneurs has emerged. And later on we realized that we should focus on Northeast. Anybody coming to Northeast Festival, they see our culture, the spectacular dance form, the musical talents, from Papon to Lou Mazao to all the popular rock bands of Northeast. And rock music, fashion. We have brilliant fashion designers, and our models are brilliant models. Rock music, fashion, food, and around 30-40 stalls of exotic cuisines of Northeast got a lot of attention. In fact, in 2019, I mostly saw Punjabis coming and hogging our pork. Pork became quite popular. Northeast Festival, basically the pork got a lot of attention. This pork ribs and all kind of pork delicacies and meat delicacies. Northeast Festival was mostly meat-based food. showcase, and it has got a lot of attention in national media. And we started talking about tourism in the festival. More than lakhs of people attend every year, mostly foreign tourists and domestic tourists. So we started highlighting the destination. We started showing Loktak, Nir Mahal in Tripura, and Christmas celebration in Mizoram, and Arunachal, Tawang Monastery, and the snow-clad mountains of Arunachal, and adventure tourism in different parts of Northeast, and Manas, Dibru Soikhwa, and Majuli. We started highlighting these areas. We started highlighting our heroes, the freedom fighters, and tourism got a lot of boost actually. And up to 2019, we did Northeast Festival, and we did series of business meet on tourism, textiles. A lot of tour operators, a lot of textile buyers interacted with our sellers. Especially tour operating meets were becoming very successful. In fact, major tour operators of Indian Tour Operators Association, All India Domestic Tour Operators Association, Adventure Tour Operators Association, their members, their leaders started coming in, interacting with their tour operators, and developed long-term business linkage with the Northeast India. And in fact, AD2I, another organization, has started to Northeast Festival, and they set up base in Northeast in a later stage. So networking has happened between buyer-sellers networking. And in between, we did a lot of quiz competition for non-Northeastern people, series of campaigns with resident welfare societies in different parts of Delhi, and a lot of awareness has been created. In fact, the racial attack has gone down in Delhi substantially due to effort of Government of India, and Northeast Festival played a role. So the racial attack has gone down in Delhi, and due to the mainly efforts of Government of India and other agencies, the Northeast Festival has played a part. So these last 2 years we couldn't do it because of COVID, and this time we want to do in December. November is has a lot of issues in Delhi, mainly the pollution issues. So December we tried in December mid, and IGNC at the venue we used to do earlier is now no longer available. It's now Central Vista, and because Northeast Festival have lakhs of people, so we have to book Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, and we try to book in the month of December. Only dates available was 23rd to 26th. And this venue, Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium outside, gate number 12 and gate number 4. They have brilliant areas where recently that Hindustan Times Food and Music Festival was organized, and Draft Festival was organized, and many other festivals. It's very popular zone, but it's expensive, very expensive. And it's done mostly in ticketed way, and it's very popular venue of Delhi. So we are organizing Northeast Festival during 23rd to 26th of December, Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium campus, and around 200 stalls of entrepreneurs from Northeast. The focus about what is Prime Minister's vision of Asta Lakshmi, entrepreneurs showcasing their products, and Stand Up India, Startup India, promoters from Northeast, and mostly women entrepreneurs. And they'll be showcasing from cane and bamboo to agri-horti products to textiles and many other products, and some cuisines, the best of Northeastern cuisines. And we're also presenting some, a lot of rest of India crowd will come. We'll have some vegetarian food also. Delhi joints will also join. It's more about Delhi festival this time, trying to attract Delhi audience, and so that they know more about Northeast and our entrepreneurs get a market. Generally, Northeast Festival organized for 3 days. This time we are doing for 4 days. And Minister of MSME is sponsoring the entrepreneurs to participate. They are giving reimbursement of expenses, travel expenses, and other stall fees and other things. Northeast Festival has the biggest musical stage of Delhi. In fact, we'll have around 30 musical bands performing, and some of the biggest name will be performing from Northeast and outside, because we are trying to get some very popular bands in Delhi and Mumbai too to attract the Delhi crowds. Then we will have a rock band competition where Delhi colleges will participate, and this is organized regularly, and this time it will be on a bigger stage. And fashion is a very popular component of Northeast Festival. Many designers, models has emerged from Northeast Festival, and this time 3 evenings of spectacular handloom fashions of Northeast, which will be attended by fashion bloggers, and a lot of buyers are coming. Exclusive boutiques are coming, so that they see the specialties fashion of Northeast India. We'll have B2B meet on tourism. There'll be large exhibition of tourism products, tourism destination, and there'll be B2B meet on textiles and tourism and agri products. And more than lakhs of people are attending Northeast Festival, and we are expecting to generate crores of business for our entrepreneurs. And narrative of Northeast Festival has changed from the awareness creation to a vibrant Northeast. So this time we'll talk about very vibrant Northeast. And by the time Shanghai Festival will be over, Hornbill will be over, and we are having this Cherry Blossom Festival is expected over by the time. So as Mazuli Music Festival, Orange Festival, a lot of festivals are going to be over by the time. And Jero Festival of Music, very popular festival I forgot to mention, is one of the finest musical festivals in the whole world. All this festival will be over by the time, so that we have Northeast Festival in Delhi, which will present a tremendous varieties of Northeast in terms of its resources, culture. There will be dance performers across Northeast. Around 500 artists are traveling. There will be from Ras Leela to Warriors to Wangala dance to many more. And of course, there's a large art exhibition. Northeastern artists' talents are very revered across the country. We have a fantastic art exhibition to be presented in the Northeast Festival. So, the narrative had changed. We'll talk about connectivity in the Northeast Festival. We'll show the flight movements from Delhi. So, generally, once you enter Northeast Festival, we'll try to show these are the flights in Northeast. So, aapko flight milta hai. You don't need to worry about Northeast. And we'll talk about the freedom fighters. We'll talk about heroes of Northeast, and of course, the destinations of Northeast to give an idea about the Northeast in the festival. So, winter is the best time to visit Northeast, and as I told, connectivity has changed. Perception had changed. The connectivity had changed. Earlier time, in our college days, in my early working days, we used to have 1 or 2 flights to Delhi, 1 or 2 flights to Calcutta, and that's all. Now we have direct flight from Dimapur, Aizawl, Dibrugarh, Imphal, Agartala to Delhi, with very vibrant airports in Imphal and Agartala, and Dibrugarh too. We have Holongi Airport coming in Itanagar shortly. It's a beautiful airport being constructed. We'll have direct flight from Itanagar to various parts of the country. Imphal Shillong has a good airport. Rupsi Airport is now operationalized, and small flights are moving all around Arunachal and Assam. Tezu, Pasighat, Lakhimpur, as I talk about Rupsi, Shillong is having flight, and Guwahati now has 28 destinations, including Singapore, Thimphu. Bangkok is starting soon. 25 flights from Guwahati to Delhi. Can you believe 25 flights? 23 flights from Guwahati to Mumbai per day. And every metro has direct connectivity. So as to Bhubaneswar, Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Pune. Many flights to Bangalore, Hyderabad. And hub and spoke. From morning, from Tezu, a person can come to Guwahati and connect to Mumbai, Chennai, and any other place. Rail connectivity is very good too. And Rajdhani Express is very regular. Now we have connectivity up to Agartala and very other locations. Connectivity is no longer a concern. The 4-lane highway is constructed full blast across Northeast India. Although the construction speed is very slow, especially in Upper Assam, but things are changing. With a lot of focus from Nitin Gadkari, Honorable Minister, and focus from the government. But yes, a lot of things to be done on this 4-laning part. But interstate roads are being developed. Assam has a very good rail connectivity, so has Meghalaya, fantastic connectivity road. And Arunachal is also trying its best, and things are changing. Hotels are coming up. We have Taj setting up a hotel in Shillong recently. They have a Vivanta in Guwahati for a long time. Radisson and so many other hotels are coming. Ginger hotels across the states, various states are coming up. In fact, I was involved in bringing the first Ginger hotel to Agartala when I was in ILFS. I was responsible for bringing Ginger hotel to Agartala as well as Guwahati. Now they are putting up many other Ginger hotel, the promoter of Taj Group. With the perception and connectivity issues has been addressed to a substantial extent. The Northeast India is getting large tourist inflow, especially Assam, Arunachal, Nagaland, Meghalaya is getting a lot of tourists. In fact, Meghalaya is getting maximum footfalls. Most of the time, hotels in Meghalaya full, crowded, and Kaziranga is always full. It's very difficult to get a place in Kaziranga. Guwahati is always full. However, the tourism so far has been mostly Kaziranga, Guwahati, Shillong, Circuit, Cherrapunji, Hornbill Festival. We need to do much more. We need to promote the lesser-known destination, the various parts of Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur. So many things to see, and that needs a lot of focus and a lot of promotion. And today we'll talk about what needs to be done, especially in highlighting the Northeast as a high-end destination. I have some issues actually in terms of the mass tourism, especially we see in Shillong or in Kaziranga. Entire Northeast is ecologically fragile. We do not need lakhs and lakhs of tourists. We need quality tourists who can spend. Low spenders are a problem. They do not contribute towards the economy. We need to focus on high-end tourism destination. Northeast, because it's ecologically fragile, has to be protected. And while protecting, we can create a tourism economy in creating assets which are in sync with nature, which are products of bamboo and our crafts. Our culture become tourism, our cuisine become tourism. and the nature become the main attraction. Mindful tourism is a new attraction, is a new buzzword across the world. Mindful tourism needs to be promoted extensively. And there are a lot of tourists, a lot of people especially, then a lot of my friends in Bangalore says that I want to go to Arunachal Hill. Give me a place where I can stay for 10 days and relax. They're bored with this concrete jungles and IT world and excess pressure. People work for 20 hours a day for many years and they are really tired. They are willing to spend money, but they need destination with good toilet, good connectivity, and good food, and inside the nature. So mindful tourism is going to be the next big thing in the world, and especially Northeast has to take advantage. And I strongly believe Meghalaya, Arunachal, Nagaland as part of Assam, and Mizoram, and all the states can be real destination for mindful tourism. Adventure tourism, our Okentang, our friend, has been trying to do in different parts of Arunachal, has to go much more because the entire Northeast is an adventure, and we need to promote extensive adventure tourism and market it extensively. The government has to play a lot of roles, especially the state government. The wayside amenities is a problem. We need places where people can relax and comfort areas. We need to create investments. We need to attract destination. We have to attract private sector to invest, and government has to facilitate them to invest. And government has to do extensive marketing outside. Rest is up to entrepreneurs. I'm sure of late, a lot of tour operators has emerged in Northeast. We have very strong tour operating networks. We need to develop more tour guides, but a lot of tour operators have emerged of late. A lot of young tourism entrepreneurs has emerged. They are setting up hotels, resorts, and local entrepreneurs should be encouraged to set up facilities in lesser known destinations. If somebody wants to do in a jungle area, give some incentives, let him invest, give some land to him, and give a template that this kind of facility. Template has to be created by the government that we do not want a mass tourism. We need a quality assets where tourists can come and have good time. Northeast region has advantages, together has an advantage and disadvantage. For tourism, it's a real advantage. A lot of tourists come to Assam, but they do not come only to Assam. They go to Meghalaya, they go to Arunachal, they go to Nagaland. Or somebody coming to Nagaland, they do not come only for Nagaland, they go to Meghalaya. So there lies the regional perspective of Northeast tourism. We need to promote Northeast as a destination, especially circuit, Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Arunachal, Central, Tripura, Manipur kind of circuits. And bringing all these circuits together with hub and spoke in terms of where connectivity is happening. We can fly from Arunachal. We have exotic destinations in Arunachal. They can come to Guwahati and fly off with new flights coming out, small flights coming up. Northeast is absolutely well connected in the coming days. So who will do this regional marketing? So as of now, Assam has its own campaign, Arunachal has its own campaign, Arunachal has John Abraham, Assam has Priyanka Chopra. But why not one common marketing strategy? And who can do it? Our donor and NEC can do it. Regional marketing campaigns. Ministry of Donor has a lot to do in promoting tourism. And yes, this destination, for me, we do not need Americans. We need Americans, but India is a very prospering country with so many tourists with money. Bangalore, as I mentioned, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Pune. Those IT crowds and these corporate guys are right tourists for us. They have money in their pocket, they can invest, and they like to have adventure. They need quiet nature. They are the tourists for us. Domestic tourism is a major attraction we should encourage. And high-end domestic tourists. Southeast Asia. Thailand attracts 3.5 crores tourists in a year. If one person comes to Northeast, our will go up substantially. Vietnam attracts so many tourists. But Thailand, Vietnam, these two places can bring tourists to Northeast. We need to focus on these ASEAN countries to encourage tourists to come. And air connectivity is very essential. In Bangkok, flight has to start. Vietnam, flight has to start. And in next 5 years, I can predict for sure. Hanoi and Bangkok, Guwahati, Manipur, Imphal, then Mandalay is a tremendous circuit will develop. River tourism. We go to Irrawaddy River and go to rivers in Vietnam and comes to Brahmaputra, have a river tourism network. Our golf tourism will be a big way, and the Buddhist tourism circuit. There's two tourism circuits I want to mention. A lot of Buddhist tourists can go to Arunachal. Some brilliant tourism facilities are in Tawang, developed by Honorable Chief Minister and his team. And Mr. Chona Min is doing in Namsai, beautiful temples, exotic destination, all Buddhist, Thai community. And in Assam, we have got Thai Phake in Naharkatia. And you get down at Dibrugarh, you go to tea gardens, do the Thai home relics. go to Taifake Buddhist village, go to Namphake. There's a tremendous circuit. And similarly from Bhutan, we can bring people to Tawang and Dirang, these exotic Buddhist destinations will be very attractive features for Japan, Japanese and Thai tourists in coming days, Korean tourists in coming days. The Thai tourism circuit, a lot of Thai, in Thailand we have recently organized Northeast India Festival. A lot of people, Thai people, the Thai homes, Thai Phake, Thai Khamti, they migrated from Thailand, China border. A lot of Thai communities across Vietnam, China, Thailand, and Myanmar can come to Northeast, and they are big numbers. So the Southeast Asian countries and Indian domestic tourists can change tourism in the Northeast. And for that, Government of India has to play a most proactive role. We need air connectivity. We need to incentivize flight movement between Vietnam, Hanoi and Guwahati. As I mentioned, Bangkok, Guwahati, Imphal, Mandalay, and maybe from Japan. So coming days, gold tourism will be a big tourism circuit in Northeast. We have a lot of gold courses which needs to be developed and a lot of focus has to be given. And marketing, Government of India has really focused on Northeast. We must appreciate the Incredible Northeast campaign has been fantastic, but much needs to be done. And for the state government, the whole field is empty, a lot of things to be done. We need to focus on infrastructure on ground. We need to promote high-end tourism hotel chains. We must encourage Sarabur Group, high-end hotels and Lemon Tree and ITC and all the hotels should come to Northeast. They create their own market because I've seen Novotel. People come to stay in Novotel. They are creating their own market. And the community as a whole, Northeast should be community-driven tourism. I was involved in developing a community tourism circuit in Naharkatia, promoted by Ex-Alpha, this Sasoni Merville Eco-Tourism project. They are putting some cottages and they provide Assamese food, dance forms, and a lifestyle of Assamese. So community tourism is the next big thing. So we need to involve our Northeastern people in the entire process of tourism development. And we need to incentivize some homestay arrangement, quality homestay arrangement. Tourists come to see Northeastern way of life. Let them stay in a Joko village, Konoma village, or village in Arunachal. And we should develop this village, clean toilets, water facilities, and common cultural platforms. People will be very happy to eat local food, trek along the river, and this is where community can involve, and a big tourism mass can be created. And I strongly urge Government of India and Government of Northeastern states to focus on creating some attractive propositions like one large centers where we get various textile products, various food products, and a particular state. And like Chokidhani concept we are doing in Rajasthan, why not we do in Meghalaya, Arunachal, Assam? Similar concept where one area we get entire facility. In Assam, suppose one area we have mobile theatre, Onkia Bhavna, a dance form, food, and a feel of tea, a feel of the wildlife and everything. And those common cluster will attract high-end tourists. It will create an economy. The Northeast tourism has to be driven by our people, our tour operators, tourism fraternity. They have to be aggressive in marketing and they must invest on facilities. And most importantly, the skill development. We need to develop our skill. We have hospitable manpower. Northeastern people are hospitable. They need some training. Training in English speaking and Hindi speaking. Training in hospitality presentation in terms of chef or in terms of front service, front office or housekeeping. And our boys are doing wonderful work. If you go to Goa, call a house service staff, use either from Meghalaya, Assam, or Arunachal, Nagaland, or any Northeastern states. You go to Bangalore, our boys are doing wonderful work. We need to develop much more manpower here in Northeast. Our colleges can create skill development for our hospitality manpower. Government of India and Government of Assam and other Northeastern states has to fund agencies, and the hotels can train them. Our hotels can train them. Our hotels need manpower, and our manpower can serve the entire country. Tourism can change the entire economic landscape of Northeast India. Right? Presently, our per capita income is amongst the lowest in the country. Tourism can raise it up, and with tourism, agriculture will improve because tourists need organic products. Our pineapple, our ginger, our papaya will get a boost. Tourists will promote handicraft because they will buy handicraft. So handicraft, agro-horti products and traditional skills, our cuisines and our culture makes tourism. If tourism develops, ancillary entire industry will develop. And that is where the role of our governments has a major role. And I believe the time for the Northeast has come. With the support of the government and the community and the entrepreneurs and the tourism fraternity, in the coming days, Northeast will go as one of the most attractive destinations in the entire world. Thank you.